City Council approves an amended contract with Fraternal Order of Police. It gives all union member officers and non-member lieutenants bonuses and raises. 12 News reporter Brock Wilson looks at how it will help the city recruit and keep current officers.
The members of the Wichita Police Department will be among the best paid police officers in the state of Kansas.
Wichita Police Chief Joe Sullivan says the amended contract comes at a time when the department is down more than 100 officers.
So we just simply couldn't wait until to negotiate the new contract.
He says officers that work in bigger cities like Wichita have more responsibility, and now they'll be paid accordingly with $5,000 bonuses and 13% raises.
All the benefits of coming to a big department like Wichita is now coupled with a salary commensurate with the workload and the level of responsibility that you will inherit.
While the amended police contract passed unanimously, there's still some concern from people in the community about the next contract coming in 2025, including all of the items from the recent Jensen Hughes city audit.
And this seems pretty minimal. What the FOP is wanting to do with this contract.
Wichitan Ann Jones raised concerns that police aren't being held to high enough standards. Another has concerns about officers following the code of conduct.
Offering incentive pay to behave does little to engender public trust.
These changes will be made to the current contract that runs through 2024, and more changes mentioned in the city audit will be made to the next contract currently being negotiated that starts in 2025.
I believe we have 19 implemented, we have 22 in progress, and the remaining are items that we will have to negotiate with the FOP, but they have demonstrated a willingness to do that.
In Wichita, Brock Wilson, 12 News.
Wichita police can expect to get their $5,000 bonuses by December 22nd. The 13% raises will go into effect January 1st and run through the end of 2024.
Turning